Hi, my friends. Linda Sterling here with the Publishing Circle. In this video, I'm going to be talking with you about how to form your street team. Some of the things that you need to think about and how to get started, where to find them. Before we dive totally in, I want to make sure that some of the definitions that I use are really clear. A street team is going to be your group of super fans. They are the ones who are going to buy every book that you write. They're going to share the information about your book launches. And very importantly, they're going to leave reviews. Now, I don't want to get into what you need to make sure you do about them leaving reviews. We'll save that for another time. But essentially, they're the ones who root for your success. They help you because they absolutely love your writing, or maybe they just feel good about being connected because you're an author. Authors do have a sort of star appeal for a lot of people. Your street team is going to constitute your most valuable asset as a writer, outside of your primary email list. Now, just so you're aware, not every super fan is going to be part of your street team, but you don't need them to be. However, every street team member will be a super fan. Your street team may also include some beta readers, but your beta readers don't necessarily have to be in this group. And if you're not sure what beta readers are, those are the readers who are willing to read your book in advance and point out any errors in your text or your flow. When you're first forming your street team, what I want you to do is not get over-focused on the size of your team. A valuable team can be as small as 20, 25 people and still be amazingly effective. Over time, of course, you're going to want to build your team, but first you want to learn how to keep the team engaged. Learning that should be your first priority. Your Author Street team, if I need to remind you, works for free. That means it's essential that you are nurturing them. Like anything else, you want to be certain that you have planned things out well. I suggest that you get dates on your calendar about when you're going to contact them and exactly how you're going to engage with them. Also, make sure that you're letting them know about things like launch timing, that sort of thing. But we're going to talk more about how to keep them engaged in the next video. Before you start looking for members, write down the expectations that you have of them and also the promises that you're going to make to them. You want people to join you because they're connected to you as an author that they admire, not for the goodies. But of course, having some sweet rewards always makes it more fun for everybody who participates. After all, who doesn't like getting something really special? So here are a few ideas that I have about how to find your street team. One of the first places I'd recommend that you start is just to sit down and write out a list of the people you already know who love your writing. You may already have the foundation of a really great team. The second thing that I do is, if you already have a bit of a list, send out an email to that list. And if you don't have, don't worry about it. But if you do, find out who might be interested. You can also post an invitation on your own Facebook timeline or in any Facebook groups that you personally manage. You can do that with other social media too, of course. You could do it on Goodreads. LinkedIn might be especially good if you're writing nonfiction. Now, in the last video, I recommended, or not recommended, shared that I also find people through Craigslist. So if you didn't see that video, I've added it in your email. If you're in a book club, you can also ask there. Lots of times they're already fans or interested in following you as an author, so don't hesitate to ask. And then once you have a few people on board, Ask them to ask other people. That's always a good way, especially if you've made it fun. The final way is to put a tab on your website asking people to apply and stating clearly what's expected and what you're going to be doing for those people. Now, I've listed resources in the email. Nadine Brands is one who does a really good job. Elise Kova is another, and Diana Urban is another person who has a tab on her website that asks for or mentions that you can join her street team there. It's also crucial to vet your members. Lots of people will sign up for goodies. You want to eliminate them if they're not specifically interested in supporting you as an author. To make this happen, make sure it happens, a questionnaire is invaluable. The other thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to track their performance over time. I would suggest that you create maybe a Google spreadsheet or an Excel spreadsheet just to keep things organized. You can also set up a Facebook group, and I recommend that you do, or you can send out emails or both. If you do form a Facebook group, one of the things I want to make sure that you do is that you have everybody's email address. You don't own Facebook, but you do own your own mailing list. And you just never know when something might happen, even accidentally, and you could lose every single one of those contacts for your street team that you worked so hard to build. So don't let that happen. Facebook groups have other advantages. They let people see how much everyone else is engaged. It's a really great spot to ask questions. You can show some of the prizes that you're offering, and you can brag on people, let them know who's being a superstar, that sort of thing. One of the statistics that I find really interesting is that 95% of people buy a book because someone else has recommended it or they see a review. So having a street team is going to magnify that in such a fabulous way for you. Some street team members will make sure that when an author releases a book, and obviously this is for the larger teams, but remember you're going to start small and you're going to build, they'll leave sometimes hundreds of reviews when a book first launches. That kind of launch where so many people are saying great things about a book is, a sure start for success. But remember, the number of people on your team is far less important than the level of engagement, and how much they're engaged depends on you. So send me a note, linda@thepublishingcircle.com. Let me know that you've started your street team or you're adding to your street team. I just want to make sure that you're jumping in. It's not something to set aside. And in the next video, I'll be talking about how you can engage even before you have a book to release. And I think a lot of people don't really think about forming their street team until they have already set a book up. Setting it up in advance, setting up your street team in advance is so valuable for you. So like I said, I'll be sharing some ways how to do that and get people involved before you launch. I'm looking forward to that note that you're going to send me and let me know that you've begun. As always, love, blessings, and bestseller wishes.